Hi everyone, my name is Beatrice Flores. All my life I have struggled with my weight, as many people do. I always been healthy. I do not drink, I do not smoke, I don't have any medical problems, no high cholesterol, no high blood pressure, no heart failure. When I had my daughter back in 2005, I gained about 20 to 30 pounds. By the time I had my second child 2 years later, I gained at least 40 to 50 pounds additional to the ones that I had gained 2 years before, and I was unable to lose none of the weight. I tried many different things to lose the weight. Diets like Weight Watchers, Atkins diet. I tried diet pills, and I even tried dietary teas. They taste horrible. I tried controlling what I ate, and I would lose maybe 10 pounds, 12 pounds. And at some point, I did lose 20 pounds, but I gave them back up. Losing weight was temporary. I was categorized by a doctor as obese because I was 5'5" and 300 pounds. Not being able to lose the weight and keeping it off caused me a lot of frustration. Lost of interest in losing weight, and I ended up giving up. Then I heard about the weight loss surgery as an option for weight loss. I did not know what the procedure was, how it worked, or who was a good candidate for it, because when I saw many of the operations, they were practiced on people that were over 300 pounds over their weight, 600, something like that. So today I'm going to give you the definition of gastric bypass, how the surgery aids to weight loss, and why I agree that it is a good solution for weight loss. The first thing we need to understand is what is gastric bypass surgery. I took this information from the Tampa General Hospital, where I went to get all the information that I needed about the surgery. It was explained to me that the operation entails dividing the stomach into two compartments, creating a very small pouch that is approximately 30 millimeters or 1 ounce big. That remains connected to the esophagus, which is the food pipe. The larger portion of the stomach, which is the excluded stomach, is left in its place and is not removed. If you look at figure 1, you will be able to follow what I'm telling you. The two parts of the stomach are completely separated. The small intestine is divided downstream from the stomach, and one of its ends is attached to the small pouch. Ingested food goes into the small intestine and bypasses the stomach. This is why the operation got its name. The intestine is then reconnected downstream from the pouch to receive the acid secretions made by the bypass portion of the stomach, which is the shaded area in the diagram. Absorption of the food occurs in the common channel where the ingested food meets the acid and bile from the bypass stomach. Because more than 1/3 of the patients who lose weight develop stones in the gallbladder, this is also removed at the time of the surgery. The operation induces weight loss by limiting the amount of food you eat and by limiting the absorption of food in the intestine. Once I was clear with what was the procedure, I asked what were the complications of the surgery. Although that the chance of complications is low, they may occur in 5 to 10% of the gastric bypass patients. One of the major medical complications will be death, but just like any medical procedure, that is just taken accounted for. Also, you can have organ loss or further operation included but not limited to pneumonia, blood clots in the lung or in the legs, a stroke, heart attack, and bowel blockage. Everyone's body is different. These complications have many reasons why they can happen. If the patient is not honest with the doctor about their medical records, about the medicine they take, about all the other operations that they have had, or all the medical problems they really have, all of this stuff can influence with the operation. So honesty goes a long way. Once the procedure is done, it is important to follow the specifications that are listed by the doctor. The body will not be ready for solid food intake in about 3 to 4 weeks. Therefore, you need to eat pureed foods and introduce food slowly. If you eat sweets, big chunk of food, or spicy or greasy foods, you can experience unpleasant side effects such as rapid heartbeat, sweating, palpitations, abdominal pain, diarrhea, and dizziness. These symptoms are referred as dumping syndrome, and they are very unpleasant. There are certain steps that need to be taken before making the choice about gastric bypass. I research people's stories on YouTube. I look up the hospital that was offering the procedure. I find out that the hospital is a center of excellence, which is a really high rank in the medical field, and it is approved nationally. I checked on the doctor's credential. I verified insurance coverage, attended nutrition classes. I attended to a support group that the hospital had with patients to talk about with patients of gastric bypass that talk about their experience. That was a turning point for me. In the support group, I met many patients that had successful stories and others that did not because they opted for a different procedure rather than the gastric bypass. I remember meeting a lady that had a photo diary very well organized, and she was able to lose about 120 pounds. She mentioned her accomplishments, and she even ran on a local marathon for breast cancer. First time she ever did that. She said that she wanted it a chance to start correctly, and she know that another procedure will allow her to cheat because some of us are addicted to food, so gastric bypass will make it a little harder to cheat. Those words spoke loudly to me. I give it up, and I said I'm going for it. So therefore I decided to try the gastric bypass surgery. Once I made my decision, I needed to focus on what I needed to accomplish before the surgery. So I started working on changing my eating habits. I started intaking daily protein. I started doing exercise, just walking at least 30 minutes, 3 days a week. I started learning how to say no to sweets, candy, cakes. I trained my brain to be satisfied when you tell it to. I reduced my caffeine intake. Make all sacrifices that you can imagine to achieve my weight loss. You might ask yourself, why do I need to go through all these changing procedures if I'm going to have the surgery for weight loss? Well, the operation is a tool that will aid to lose weight. The operation alone cannot do all the work for you. Once you lose the weight, you need to maintain it off, just like everyone else. People that think that their problems will be solved once the operation is done are incorrect. You need to learn how to take care of yourself, make better choices, and to be able to be successful. It's been 3 years since I had my gastric bypass surgery. I didn't have no complications. I'm not deaf. I didn't have no blood clots. Actually, to recuperate was easier than my 2 cesarean births that I had before. It took a month for my stomach to adjust, and I was losing 10 to 15 pounds every 2 weeks. Once I was able to eat solid foods, the weight slowed down, and I was able to lose 130 pounds in a year. Today, I'm weighed 170 pounds, and I go to my yearly physical. Everything is fine. I have no medical condition. I'm not slim, or I was not looking to be a model size. I'm still considered overweight by the BMI charts, But I'm happy where I am today. It was important for me to prevent major complications later, like diabetes, because it runs in my family. Most of all, my main focus was my children. I wanted to be able to be as healthy as I can for my children. I learned to make better food choices and care a little more about myself. Doing little sacrifices do not mean that you have to forget about sweets and all that stuff. You can still have a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but you have to have some self-control. Thanks to the weight loss surgery, I was able to lose the weight. So it did aid for me to do that. It gave me a chance to start all over again, and this time to do it right. I appreciate your attention today. If you have any questions for me, please be more than free to tell me. I'll be more than happy to ask any doubts or any questions. Thank you and have a good day.